It's good to see so many people. I'm so excited when so many of us are here.
You're so cute.
And I just started recording. Okay. So for those of you who want to get started, I'll put this. Do you guys just want to watch me for a minute? I can.
Yes.
All right.
I can watch you do your draw.
All right. So this guy is a vertical. Okay. So make sure to put your paper. I'm not going to grid this because I don't really. We don't have time for this, but I will show you the charcoal technique again if you've got it. Okay, and then, hang on. I'm going to, what's that thread? I totally forgot that I had introduced charcoal last week, so. But I'm wondering, I'll tell you what, the first thing I'm going to do, give me just a minute, I'm going to send over the picture to you on WhatsApp, so those people who want to get started can get started. So I'm going to start a new group here. Sandra, Claudia, Lisa, Jane, Kate, Johnny. Anna, Philip, Rashmi. And then those of you who feel like you want to watch me, you can watch me. Those of you who are just using your pencil can keep going and maybe watch me. All right, so I'm about to send you. So you are block 4, art. Art. And this is life. Okay, so let me get a picture of this. So now you all have a copy of this gridded picture. So for those of you who want to get started, go ahead and get started. Using your pencil, making your grid, whatever. There's things that you can do. I am going to, yes.
For those who've had a couple of classes, do you think we can try without the grid?
Yeah, totally. I expect you to try without the grid. How's that? All right, so now I'm connecting. Hold on. I'm going to mute myself. All right, so. Oh, right. Oops. Sorry. Okay. There's a method to my madness here. So you guys, so those of you who want to watch me working, can you see there's a second Leah here? Here I am. It's like my cell phone, right?
Yep.
So you can see my screen a little bit better. So I would recommend going into speaker view and then clicking on the Leah video, not the Leah Kohlenberg video, but the Leah video, not to be confusing. Where is the Leah video? I'm trying to find it myself. There we go. Okay, so that you can see that big. So can you see now? This is a much easier thing to see. See, we're thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about you guys. All right, So for those of you who want to watch this demo, so those of you who want to do this in pencil, you can just go ahead and do this in pencil. Those of you who want to watch me, accept that. Once again, I am going to take the side of so I'm going to start by doing what we call toning the paper. I'm taking the side of this charcoal here. And I'm kind of toning it. I'm making it a sort of maybe a 3. If the value scale, if 1 is light and 5 is dark, I'm toning this about a 3. This is much better, isn't it, than trying to look at me from my computer camera.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So once again, I'm going to be starting by, I can sketch the outlines if I want to. I'm going to be eyeballing this, so we'll see how we go.
Not allowed to do eyeballing.
I'm not allowed to do eyeballing. I'm going to be doing the best I can. Right? I don't have time to do a grid. So, or I could draw a grid, I suppose, just to make it like, well, let's just see what I can do. Eyeballing. Yes, I was totally giving somebody in the LA class a hard time about eyeballing. And I hope I didn't traumatize her too much. So I'm kind of sketching the outside shapes of things. All right, so this needs to come up a little bit. So I'm still wanting to get the outside shape. Oh, you know what? I think this needs to come out a little bit more. So I can see that this side is bigger than this side, right? So I want to make sure, so even though this is a halfway, this line divides the boat in half, because the boat is kind of turned a little bit, this side is significantly bigger than this side. So when I sketch my middle line, I want to make sure that's happening. So see how I'm just holding my finger between the 2 lines? Oh yeah, that's kind of happening. So now the second thing is, I want to see if this is proportional to this. So I want to see if this is wide, how far across the boat, across the middle of the boat it goes. And I can't do that with my finger, so I'm going to do that with the ruler. I need to bring this up just a little bit. So that's like one of the first things that you can do if you're trying to so see, I'm spending a little bit of time kind of messing around with the side of the boat. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So I'm doing a couple of checks. You'll see, yep. So what I want to know is if here, proportionally, and Rashmi, this goes a little bit to your question. So the grid tells me that if I'm going here, right, and that this side is this length, this is about 1.5 of these. So when I come here, I want to see, even though this is bigger, it still proportionally has to match what's happening outside, and that's about right. So I know that proportionally this boat is about the way I want. I'm not sure I have these things all right, all these angles right, but I know this boat is proportionally pretty good. So let's see, so let's try adding a couple of inner lines. Really what we're kind of getting here is a perspective lesson. I mean, there's so much to learn about drawing. I'm also thinking about very much about these triangle shapes here. You see that like there's a lot of triangles in this boat. like this one can kind of be divided into two. I'm kind of doing this, right? There's a triangle here, and then there's a triangle here. I look for common shapes a lot. But I also want to make sure, once again, so I can see that from here to here, this is, can you guys still see that? Okay, so I can see that, like, if this, the bottom of the boat to here is this length, that it should come up to where the rope is. So I want to make sure I've got this in the right place. Oh, I've got that too high. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Let's try this. Let me try this first. Yeah, that's more like it. So you see how I'm constantly using these measuring? I'm constantly measuring. Now maybe it needs to come up just a little bit. In between there. So here and here. One, two, three. So see how I'm constantly checking my measurements. So this is what you do when you don't have a grid. You're checking one thing that you've already established. I've already established this line and these lines as pretty, and this side and this side as solid. So I'm checking everything else I add against these lines, which I've already determined kind of are proportional to what's happening. Okay, let's see what we can do. So the lightest areas are kind of here. And see, I'm leaving those, like, I'm leaving the dark, the toning in between. Notice that if you spend too much time with your rubber eraser in one place, it stops erasing so well. So you want to, like, I just open it, I just stretched it, right? So you can see it. So all this is being, this drawing is being done with an eraser. And then over here on this side, which is a little bit darker, there's a kind of thinner line. I'm going to try and preserve that dark shape up here, though, so I can see it. And I want to make sure these things connect. I'm trying to leave a little bit more dark space. I also noticed that this last line kind of goes into being a dark. Is there any more light areas? Maybe I want to add in a few of these light flowers. You see, I have those light flowers kind of like sketched in. And let's see, so about 1, 2. Oh yeah, so you, my friend, have to come down way lower. I may have to redraw this a little bit. 1, 2, yes, here. So here, is my ocean. I'm going to skip the boats for now. I'll put them in later if I want to. But right now, I just want that sky plane. And then here, drawing is a really fascinating process, isn't it? It's so like all of a sudden you add these simple, if you really stick with the darkest shapes, you stick with these big, look at, I'm not doing any detail really. Already this drawing is starting to come out. I may have to do a little correcting as I'm sketching along. It's a little bit darker here, but it's lighter here. So now I have kind of the sky plane. I have the far away mountain with a little castle on it. I've got the water plane, which is kind of a medium distance away from us. I've got this front plane, which is grass. And then of course the boat, right? And I sketched the boat first because the boat really is what is the subject, and I want to have that clear before I work around it. Maybe in truth. So now I'm going to check the width here. So I don't think I have this thing wide enough. This should be wider. Which means this is all going to have to move. So I didn't quite get my measurements right on this one. 1, 2. See how I'm not getting too fussed about like, that's too far. My boat isn't too far out. See how I'm not getting too fussed about having to re-sketch everything? I do not decide I'm ready to do something until I've, you know, checked and double checked. It's very, and it's real easy to be able to get sort of too married to your lines, but with charcoal, it's easier to let that stuff go a little bit. I see. Maybe it really should be coming over here. So 1, 2, yeah, that seems better. 1, 2, 1. No, that's not a little too far. Let's try this. This is here. This is out like this. So you can see I'm doing a lot of checking and double checking. Because I don't have a grid, that's what I need to do. So yeah, Claudia, that's good for you to watch. As we're doing this. Giving myself a little bit more dark along the edge so I can extend the boat a little bit longer. I think that go. So resolve things. Okay, so I may want to go in and add some contour lines just so I can check them, so it's a bit easier. So I'm going to try up here. I'm going to try and put. I noticed that this this rope kind of comes up above the coastline. All right, let's see how accurate I am. Let's do some measurements. So we know from here to here, actually, that's interesting, from here to here, this length from here to here should be the same as this side. So even though these are proportionally bigger, I know from here to here, that should match. Well, that doesn't match. So this needs to come out wider. 1, 2. Let's check first this is here. Right. That seems about right. So I think the width is about right. So I need to bring this over. Now let's try this again. Oh, that's better. So maybe what I need to do is just bring this down a little bit. I know this looks really boring, but this is what drawing is. It's constantly checking your measurements. That looks a little bit better. So the top of my boat is here. Maybe I bring down. Thing here. I'm now sketching this out so I can see it. I look at already though what's happening with the texture here. Look at how this accidental texture is kind of already feeding into how the boat looks. Like the texture of the boat. I might decide I want to keep some of this. I might decide I don't, but I might decide I want to keep some of this. So it's a kind of a good thing to have. In fact, I'm going to go back in and add it here because I kind of like that sort of random texture. All right, and then here to here is at 1.5, so now I just want to do 1. Whoops, it's too large. You need to come down a little bit. I'm noticing there's something off with the proportions of my boat. Yeah, that's about right. Yep. Let's come down a little bit. And then now I can check this one. Two. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So lucky you, for those of you who are up the grids, you don't have to go through the pain I'm going through right now because you know where things are. And now I'm going to go back in and start getting in some of my dark areas in. And I'm using now the charcoal a little bit more like a pencil. And I'm going to put in, because this is kind of a light, but it's a sort of a medium dark, I'm going to add in some, and I'm not getting too much detail in the work right now. I'm just trying to kind of get those dark areas in. Two. So I have this here. Notice that these lines do not follow each other perpendicularly. Nothing is perpendicular here. Everything's at an angle, and every line is at kind of a different angle. That's the challenge. I was about to use a bad word, but I'm not going to use it. That's a challenge of perspective. This is darker on this side. Oh yeah, now we're starting to get a boat. Here, let me speed this up a little bit. You know what, I'll bring this up just a little bit. I'll attach it here so you can see the whole thing. There we go. No, wait, that's kind of here, like this. Yeah, better. So I'm going in kind of loosely and trying to get in my lights and my darks. I'm not drawing all my lines. This is lighter. So this, although these are technically the same color, they are not the same value because this side is in darkness and this side is in light. So I have to pay attention to that. I need to make this darker. And then actually there's a little white line on this side. You can see it right here. Wild, isn't it? And then I'm taking my finger. Of course, that's going to make my hands very messy, just warning you. And I'm kind of scrubbing it. You could also use like a paper towel if you didn't want to get as dirty. So that this side is dark, but it's not as dark as this side. Because even though these are the same color technically, because this side's in the light, oops, I want to have something that looks more like that shape-wise. I may have to take these off and put them in again. So how's that looking, you guys, so far? How's it looking?
It's amazing.
It's really amazing. The charcoal really in general is such an amazing thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to watch how we construct things. It's so not what we think. So not what we think it is. All right. And then I am going to take my eraser, but I'm using my sort of dirty part of the eraser because this is light, but it's not as light as what's happening here. Let's see. I'm going to try and add in a couple lines. Let's see what happens. So notice this particular line, you really got to pay attention to how all these lines go. This particular line kind of goes straight. And then it goes back here. Bring this down a little bit. Oh yeah, It is looking pretty good. It's funny, when I'm looking at it here, it always looks much less good than when I'm looking at it on the Skype screen. Or the Zoom screen. Anybody know why that is? Does anybody have any idea why our drawings look better when we can look at them from a camera? Anybody ever notice that? That's actually true. Your drawings often look better. It's because
They're better when you get far away anyway.
yeah, and looking at a camera is like looking at your drawing far away. Right? Exactly. Okay. I mean, I can get rid of, we can decide, India, or Block 4, as you are now called, we can decide that we want to remove the grid at some point and do a little bit more drawing like this, because this is kind of where we're all going to be going. It's just a lot harder when you're newer to be able to get sort of what's happening. Let's see. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. So see how I'm kind of marking these in before I go to the trouble of drawing them in? I want to make sure. Every single one of these lines is going at a different angle. They are not going like this. That is not what's happening. One is going kind of down, another one is going straight, another one's kind of going up, right? So you want to pay attention. The tendency is to think these are all going parallel to each other, but that is not true, and that is because of perspective. And I'm not going to get into a long challenge with perspective today. I wasn't even thinking about how much. Does anybody need to see any more, or do you feel like you've got, again, that line is totally off. This angle needs to be much more sharp. Yep. This angle needs to be down more. So see, I'm not taking anything for granted. I know how easy it is to get these guys wrong, these lines wrong. I'm always looking and seeing, is this right? Did I get this right? Hey, that looks pretty good. I can use my eraser to pull in little grasses around the edge if I want to. I don't have to do every one. I can see that this is pretty dark, so I'm going to make the stuff around the boat in the grass area pretty dark. I'm going to make that very dark. And then I'm going to use my eraser to pull out light shapes. Yeah, that also helps. So, yeah, I don't feel like I need to have, I keep dropping my charcoal and then, oh, there it is. I can't find it. So notice I'm paying a little bit more attention to edges where a light edge meets a dark, but I'm not going to draw every blade of grass. I'm more kind of paying attention to bigger shapes. And I'm sort of playing with the edges where a light edge meets a dark edge. So that can be here, where here meets here. My God.
Leah?
Yes.
Amy here. I'm
Amy.
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no,
when
go
I
ahead.
bought the newsprint, they sold it to me like long sheets of paper. Do I start on the smoother side or the rough side?
The smoother side. Actually, you can try them both and see what you like. You can try them both and see what you like, I would say. Yeah.
And the rubber, do you just use the whole thing or do you cut it in half? Because
I use the whole thing. So, you know, if you want to make it last longer, you might cut it in half and then use half of it. Because as you notice, as it gets dirty like this, here, wait, sorry, I'm like showing the wrong thing. As it gets dirty, you have to kind of stretch it out to find the clean parts. Kind of like, I don't know if you guys in India have silly putty, but we used to have silly putty. And it's a thing where you can like, you know, pick up pictures like this weird, crazy substance.
Yeah, we have it.
Yeah, you have it there. So it has that texture and consistency. So yeah, so I don't know. So is this helpful, guys? Did that help to see that get constructed?
Yes.
All right, cool. Well,
Thank you.
yeah. So now I will take a picture of this and send it over the thread so that you can see it. And of course, we've got this recorded, so later this will be available if you want to watch it again.
But Leah, I made the grids and then I started doing it, but it's just
that's fine.
It's not coming out at all.
I think you just aren't giving it enough time. You're not. You just give it a little bit more time. Or give me a second, send it to me, and I'll tell you if there's something off. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to leave the meeting here so you're not looking at. All right. So now I'm going to take a picture of this. So let me do that, and then Rashmi, you just send me what's going on. It might be your grid is not proportional, so it may be that the proportions are off, which will mess your, which will mean that things won't look right. So I'll just have to see what's going on there. All righty. I don't think, when I look at this, I don't think I totally got the code right. So now I'm going to fix it because now I'm looking at it. I'm like, wait, is that better? Oh yeah, that's better. Yeah, a little bit better. I want you guys not to be so obsessed with the final product. I mean, of course, like that's what we want to do. We want to be obsessed with the final product. I want you to be focused on the process. And I want you to notice, I did a big correction here on the left, on our right side of the boat. You'll see it. Because I had that angle wrong. It was much easier to see when I wasn't close to it. Let's see.
It looks fantastic, the boat.
It's coming along. Here, I'll send it over to you. Look for, here we go. Okay, so there's the boat. You'll see the correction. Oh, good job, Kaina. Just keep on going. Very nice. Gosh, me.
Is it okay if we have the grid version up on the screen now?
Yeah. You want me to put the grid version up? Yes, I can. No, of course. But you have it also on your. But yes,
It's
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we could do it all here. All right, Rashmi. I don't know. It's looking pretty good.
Leah, can you add me to the WhatsApp thread? I don't think I'm on it.
Oh, you know what, Lisa? I think I did the same thing I did yesterday.
Yeah, get the right
I
Lisa.
put the wrong Lisa down. Dang it. Yes, absolutely.
Just so you know, this is the right Lisa.
This is the right Lisa.
That's right.
She's the original. She's the original Lisa.
Yes, there you go.
Lisa R. Ah, yes. Lisa Garland is probably like, why am I on this WhatsApp thread? Okay, you should be on, and let me send this again so that you can see it. So I'm resending Lisa the boat so you can see it. Oh, Jean, nice. Oh my God, Jean. Wow. Did you guys see the talk that Jean just sent in?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I go back to birds every time I do something else because I'm good at birds, but I can't do anything else very well.
That's not true. That's not true. You know, Rashmi, just keep working it. You don't have enough lines down to really tell It looks to
Okay.
me, though, I can tell you this. I'm looking, it looks to me like you've drawn your, if you can, you've drawn this line like this. Can you see where the cursor's going? You've actually flipped the curve on this one. It really should be coming out, and you have it kind of going in. So you might want to pull it out more. It's really easy to flip curves. It's weird. Like we'll totally be looking at something and we'll completely draw the curve. Wow, Jean. Sorry, I just love that one. That's just great. That is just great. It's great. Good job, you guys. So Amy and Shivani, I don't know if you were here and listening to the new schedule, but we're going to be switching off a sort of a class in this general time zone each week between Thursday and Friday. So we would so Thursday, which was the Europe group, is now called Block 3. No, Block 2. And what was the India group Friday is now called Block 4. So I would really encourage you guys to come in between classes. I'd love you to take a class a week and just go from Thursday to Friday, depending on when it is. And of course, recordings will be available.
Yeah, I listened to the first part of the meeting as well.
Oh, good. Okay. I didn't see you come in. So I was like, and so I didn't know, remember, I didn't realize when you guys came in. So, and we'll go a little bit longer today just because I spent a lot of time talking about the new schedule.
Leah, what are you teaching in block 2?
Block 2 is that
First and third.
it'll be figure drawing for 2 more weeks, and then we're going to portraiture faces.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll try to get out a schedule as soon as I can. I'm kind of trying to keep it related to what you guys want to do. I'm sort of trying to meld it to the group, but also make sure that we're doing kind of opposite things, so you'll get chances to do everything. So I'll sit down this weekend and try and come up with a loose schedule. And then we can decide later how we want to do that. So go ahead and just keep sending things over. We'll stay with grid drawing for a while, and then maybe I'll move block 4 over to learning how to draw without a grid. That might be, we might do some practice sessions on that, just simple things like apples or just a photo without a grid, so you can practice, we can start practicing measuring techniques. Really, it comes down to measuring. I have plans for you guys. That's all I have to say. We are going to do a lot of different things. Because if we're going to be stuck at home, we might as well do different things. I'm assuming India is still pretty much on lockdown. You guys went in a little later than we did, right? Or are you starting to open up again?
Well, India started to open up a little while ago, but it's absurd. Some states are going back into lockdown mode because India has literally wasted its lockdown and it has exploded.
So basically,
infection.
Everybody is doing the same thing. Like
I
think
the Europeans are
Except
okay.
New Zealand. Except New Zealand.
I think the Europeans are sort of okay. It's America, I guess, India, Brazil.
The big countries where you
Latin
can't
America.
really control. That's true.
It's
UK,
not just the big countries, you know. I read an article. It's the nationalist countries.
Yep. The nationalist countries. Yep.
With
Yep.
idiots at the helm.
Jumped in that, but
Yep. You are, Sandra, you hit the nail on the head. Oh my God. That's exactly it. It's the stupid countries, basically, with stupid leaders. Well,
Bad leadership.
it's
Bad
the countries
leadership.
with nationalist, creepy leaders who don't like to work. Yes.
Well, you're all welcome to come to Paris.
Yeah, how is it in Paris?
You can go out. The restaurants are open. Movie theaters are open.
Yeah, but
public transportation is running. It
Sounds
almost
like normal life.
yeah.
But it's not normal life. My brother went there. I'm from the south of France, and he says it's completely empty because the Americans aren't there, the tourists aren't there.
Right. Of course, the Brits aren't going. All the people who normally travel to the south of France are not going.
Well, the north, I mean Paris, that is, but the south is the same. But Paris was it's empty.
Wow.
Only got the Parisians basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit it is kind of nice. I was at the Musée d'Orsay, which is the Impressionist museum.
I love d'Orsay. Yes.
It was so nice because there were some people, but it was really not as crowded as it used to be. So I'll admit I'd enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you wearing a mask, Claudia, when you go out?
Yes,
I hope you are.
A mask in the museums, yes.
Yeah. Anywhere indoors, you really need to wear a mask.
No, you don't have to. It depends on, like, in stores. It depends on the store. They can make you wear one, but some don't and some do. So
I don't know, Claudia. I'm a little bit worried about your country, about France. That does not sound. That's basically what everybody else who did loosen restrictions did, and then within 2 weeks there was a boom in cases.
Yeah, but I think in America, at least, I mean, India's got another problem. They're all over migrant workers, but in America, some people never really honored it.
No, they are assholes.
You know, those states.
Yes, we know those states. But you know what?
Oh, people in India are not honoring it either. I step out into the market to buy groceries, and it's not just today. It's just everybody's going about as if nothing happened. And people not even walking far away. It's like somebody's brushing past you, like everything is okay.
Yeah, beware.
I'm trying to run away from people.
Be wary and wear your mask everywhere. Just because I know that the mask can't really protect you so much, but it can certainly protect other people against you. But anyway, it helps. It helps in all those situations. But there will definitely,
Sorry, can I ask you, how did you deal with the ropes on the boat? Did you draw them with the charcoal?
I just did a kind of a sketchy, did you see, Lisa, I haven't done very much. I did a sort of sketchy circle.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's on and then I went back in and kind of erased in certain areas. So you could draw them, but to me, this is mostly, this area here is mostly dark.
Okay.
With little bits of light in it. So you might try a dark bundle like this and then go in with your eraser in a few places. You don't have to draw every single one of these lighter shapes. Just a few. And see what happens.
Thank you.
Yeah, good question. Lisa, are you off today?
Yes.
Awesome. So you can stay for the whole class. And Jean, you are off. So basically everybody in Reuters US is off today.
Yeah.
Sandra, are you off today?
Yep, except those people getting double pay. Yes, I'm off.
Oh, it's the 4th of July.
Yes. Well, we get to celebrate how great our country is.
We're number one. We're number one.
Stars in the sky.
In coronavirus cases, exactly.
The best that's ever been.
We are the best in the world.
Because we are the best leader ever.
Poor Trump, even he's given up. You can tell he just doesn't have the heart in it anymore. He might even quit.
God, that would be so nice.
Well, no, because Mike Pence will take charge.
I know, but so he needs to lose the elections first.
He needs to lose the elections.
And go, because we were wants to stay.
He'll probably go to jail. I imagine he's going to, or
God, I
at
would
least
love
be
that.
hit with, or at least be hit with so many lawsuits that he'll be
Yes.
in court for years, and he'll have
Yes.
to pay his fortune. His kids will probably go to jail.
Mm.
His
The big
kids will
ones, at
probably
least.
go
I
to
don't
jail.
think that's where, if we get out of this, I don't think that's where the country wants to go and spend time on going
Oh,
back.
I want to go
No,
and
it's not the
spend time.
country. There'll be people. Don't worry.
They're just people who want to do it. I think they should go to jail. Like they should,
Oh,
those
but-
guys should go.
Biden did make a pledge that he would prosecute Trump. That he
Yeah.
Oh,
wouldn't
good.
just go, oh, we need to move on. So-
Yeah, yeah. This has been
When
too
have the
much
rich ever
damage.
suffered?
Right.
When have the rich ever suffered the consequences?
Every
of
once
their
in a
actions?
while.
Well, you know, here's how the rich suffer. The rich think that they're owed what they have, and they're afraid that everybody else is going to take it away from them. That's why crazy white people in this country wave like guns at people when they walk by their house.
Yeah, that's amazing.
The
Because
Hindu
that is
narrative
like,
in
nuts.
India.
yeah. I had a,
I guess they're scared.
they're scared. You can see the look on the faces of those crazy motherfuckers, and oh my God, in Oklahoma or Wyoming, wherever the fuck they were, like, excuse me, China, wherever the hell they were, like those people.
Remember,
you can
this is
see
being
it.
recorded, Leah.
Yeah, good point. Sorry, we'll edit that out. Yeah, that's what Janet said.
A child on this class.
Janet told me that, Leah, you can kind of stop the lesson. And actually, I might stop recording the lesson because I don't think we really need much more than this.
We don't need political
The
banter.
politics, yes, exactly. So let me
No, that
pause
would be-
the